All right, welcome back to problem solving. So we're going to start on our last chapter today. This is chapter 7, and this is uh, maybe not the first introduction to algebra, but certainly a gentle one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share our screen so we can do some work here. Okay, and we'll just get started with it. All right. So I still wanted to love Notepad, or not Notepad, but Notebook. But I'm not quite good at it yet. All right, so these are two-step equations. Okay, that's what they call these two-step equations. And the most important thing you could do is just kind of remember your order of operations. Now, it's parentheses exponents. I'm going to put the part of the PEMDAS here, and then arithmetic and subtraction. Now, despite what you may have seen on Facebook or social media talking about, how to unravel tricky expressions, we don't really do that in math. Okay, we really want you aim to make things clear so that everybody gets the same answer. Okay, so you see those things like they're fun, I suppose, but really what's going to happen is you really want to express your have your expression something that people can solve without having to think too much about it. So when we do this, we read it from left to right. The parentheses come first, exponents come next. Multiplication and division are on the same level. We just do them from left to right. Okay, addition and subtraction are on the same level. We just do them from left to right. Because division is really like unmultiplication, and subtraction is like undivision. Subtraction is we're adding a negative rather than really subtracting, and division is we're multiplying by a reciprocal, multiplying by a fraction rather than really division. Okay, so there's a little bit more complicated than that, but it shouldn't really matter too much for that. Okay, so just want you to remember, go from left to right, and when we're solving equations, this goes in the other direction. We want to get rid of the arithmetic, addition and subtraction first. Then we want to handle the multiplication. Then we want to handle the exponent. And then we want to handle if there's anything else in parentheses. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at this. All right, and again, not precisely, but we do the parentheses. We want to distribute and deal with this stuff too. Okay, it's in the division type thing. So hopefully there won't be, I don't know if there's not too many weird things in here, but okay, so here we have an equation. Okay, it's an equation rather than an expression because there's an equal sign, so it's an equation. Okay, expression does not have an equal sign. So what we're going to do is we are simply going to add the 4.1 to both sides, add the 4.1 to both sides. Okay, that has to come first. So what are we going to end up here? We're going to end up with 7.0, right? 9 and 1 is 10, and then 4, and then 3 would be 7. We have 2.5m is still equal to that. Okay. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and divide by the 2.5 on both sides. Divide by the 2.5. 2.5. Okay. 2.5 on both sides. Okay, and that should give us our answer. Okay, so m is going to be, I don't know what 7 divided by 2.5 is. That's why we invented these things. Okay, so 2.5, 7 divided by 2.5, we end up with 2.8. Okay, and that's what we're doing. Okay, actually we've been doing one-step equations with algebra the whole class. It just tricked you, not using the word. I'm sure you weren't tricked. Okay. What did we end up with here? We ended up with 2.8, 2.8. Okay, so we have 2.8. Check, and then move on with our lives. Okay. So let's go ahead, and we did question 2. Let's go ahead. There's a few problems here. There's 15. Okay, but hopefully they won't be that terrible as something to, you're going to spend a lot of time on each problem. Okay, So there's some that are a little tricky, and then they're toward the end, and then everything else should be kind of straightforward here. So we have negative 16 is equal to 5 minus 4x plus 11x. Okay, so the rule on these is you have to combine our like terms before we go through and start, right? So if I have negative 4 US dollars plus 11 US dollars, and I've got 5 yen is equal to, should be double sign here, negative 16 yen. Like, you're not going to be able to combine the, right now you've got, I know you for $4, and then that you've got, so we really got $7. We've got 5 yen is equal to 16 yen. And if you try to add these together, like if you're not next to a bank, and you try, you've got 5 yen and $7. You can't combine these two. Okay, like all you could do is say, well, I've got $7 and 5 yen. Okay, congratulations, that's nice. So we don't want to combine these two because they are different units. Okay, like I said, without a bank, you're not going very far with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and we want to solve this. So 16 is equal to 5 plus 7x. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and subtract 5 from both sides. Okay, so 16 minus 5, that would be 11. 11 is equal to 7x. And then we're going to multiply by 1/7. 7 over 7, that would be 1. You could also have written it this way. You could say 11 over 7x and divided by 7. And that's going to do the same thing for us, right? Because this is 11 over 1 to do fraction arithmetic here, fraction multiplication. You're going to end up with 11 over 7, or you're going to end up with 11 over 7 is equal to x. Okay. So one thing to be said, I know when we learned fractions, we all learned fractions in like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade kind of an idea. And it was, for a lot of people, this was a horrible experience. Okay, I remember it fondly. It was, not fondly, I remember it well. It's a traumatic experience. I guarantee you, as an adult, if you're taking this and it's been a couple of years since 5th grade, give it another shot. Okay, the fractions really aren't as scary as you thought in 5th grade. You're older now. It's your second look at it. It's going to be less intimidating and less horrible than you remember. Okay, and I'm not too proud to learn. Like, if I've got to learn something new, I will find the appropriate book for me or the appropriate set of worksheets or whatever to kind of do it. And if you have to go back to like 5th grade worksheets or 5th grade algebra or math book to learn this, don't be too proud. You're gonna master it. Okay. And you'll go forward from there. So, if it's something you've always been stuck on, you've always felt like, this was the worst part of math. Like, I agree. But at the same time, looking at it with adult eyes or with high school eyes versus grade school eyes, you're going to have a better experience. Okay, so, oh, wait a minute, I missed a sign. Let's not write that down. I wrote the problem down wrong. We have negative 16. So we have negative 16 is equal to 5, and then we still have plus 7x. Okay, subtract 5. If you were $16 in debt and you've now paid another $5, you were now $21 in debt. Okay, that's equal to 7x divided by 7, x is equal to -3. Most people really insist that you write this on the left. I don't really have a preference. Okay, you want to say -3 equals x, that's the same thing as x equals -3. This is the language wise, or the way people want to say it is generally in this format, but any landing you can walk away from, right? So x equals -3. Okay, and then we'll check, and then we'll go on. Okay, great. Okay, so what have we done here? We've done 3, 5. Let's add another 3. Let's go to question 8. Okay, and again, this is a similar question that we did before. So this is -5a wish I could write that A. Okay, plus 49 is equal to 19. Okay, so we have to strip away the arithmetic part. We're going to strip away the plus and the minus. So this is minus 49 is equal to negative, oh, no equals. We're not there yet. Okay, so that's going to cancel this part out, right? 49 minus 49 is 0. So we still have negative 5a equals, and then I've got to take 19 minus 49. 9's are going to cancel. 1 minus 4, that's going to be negative 30. Okay. You can always double check. Okay. 19 minus 49. Oops. 49. Negative 30. So go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to divide by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. The two negatives here, they're going to cancel. Negative 5 are going to go away. So we're going to have, it's a semicolon, by the way, a is equal to negative 30 over negative 5. That's going to be 6. All right, and there's our answer for 6. Okay. A is equal to 6. All right. Let's see, try 11. Now they're getting tricky. Okay, x minus 4 over 7 equals negative 5. Okay, now normally you could look at this and say, wait a minute, it's supposed to be the arithmetic first. That's what you said. Like in this case, it isn't. There's an implicit parentheses here where you have an x minus 4 parentheses divided by 7 is equal to negative 5. Anytime you see this thing over a fraction, you see an expression over a fraction, there is an implicit parentheses sitting there. Just like I often forget, if we have, 0.20, 20%, I will often forget to say 0.2 because there's an implicit 0 in front of it. Okay. This just helps for readability. It's not necessary to have that, doesn't change the numerical value, but it does really help. And, if you are talking to nurses, they will be very upset if you don't put that in there. Okay, because again, it's this is what causes drug overdoses, not putting this here. So it's important in certain contexts. It's really important in certain contexts that you have this sitting here. Okay. Math people tend to not care so much, but accountants might care because, again, you don't want to make, oh, it's 0.2, you misread it, you put in $20. Not a good thing. Okay. Same thing if you just see an x sitting there, there's an implicit 1 times x. So we have an implicit parentheses around the x minus 4 that has to be handled last. So we move up the chain here, right? Yes. There was no arithmetic here, so we're just going to move up 1 and deal with the multiplication division. So we have 7 on both sides times 7 on both sides. 7 divided by 7, that's 1. Those are going to cancel. So we have x minus 4 equals negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. Okay. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add 4 to both sides, add 4 to both sides. Right, you're in debt $35. You make a $4 payment, and now you're only in debt $31. Okay, and that's what we're doing there. Okay, this is a very, very common mistake from a lot of my statistics students. So, they just forget that there's an implicit parentheses around this this fraction here. Okay, now I know that's what the mistake is. So keep yourself from making that mistake. Realize there's an implicit parentheses around expressions on top of fractions. Okay, so it's x equals negative 31. All right, check. Okay, fantastic. All right, that was 11. Let's look at 14. Oh, now we have a word problem. Everybody's favorite. Okay, take statistics, they're all word problems. Okay. The pressure P in pounds per square inch, or PSI, on a submerged body in wastewater, oh, that sounds delightful, is given by P is equal to 0.520, right? 3 significant figures. D, I guess that's the depth, okay, plus 14.7. what is the pressure, at what depth is the pressure 22 psis. All right, I've been trying to model this as we've been doing problems. I know I could have done a better job. Okay, but what I'm going to do is to fish the information. See, it's a submerged body. To fish the information out of our equation here, right? We're gonna write the formula down. Sometimes they don't give you the formula until last, but right here, right, we have 0.520. This 0 doesn't matter so much for solving the problem, times d plus 14.7. Okay, so that's we're just writing this down. And now I'm looking for any other information they gave me. Right, we have this. We could put off to the side, P is equal to pressure. And if it's units, I always like to put them in like little crooked brackets here. So, you know, I can keep track of units if I need to. And D is depth. Okay, and that's in feet. Okay. So what do we know? We know at what depth. Oh, we have to solve for D. Okay, at what depth? We don't know what this is. Is the pressure going to be 22? We don't have to worry about the PSIs because we're just solving the equation here. We'll put it in the context in a minute. 0.520 times D plus 14.7. Okay, and feel free if you're having trouble, you're solving these kinds of problems. If it helps you to like underline the variable you're solving to, or putting a little question mark over the variable you're solving to, do that. Okay, you're allowed. I give you permission. You're allowed to mark up your problem so that you keep in mind, like, what am I trying to solve for? What do I know? What am I trying to solve for? Okay, so we're going to subtract our 14.7, subtract our 14.7. Okay, we're going to say something like 22 minus 14.7. Okay. 7.3, so we have 7.3 here is equal to 0.52. We don't really need the trailing 0. I'll put it in anyway. But if you don't, you know, nobody's going to chew your head off for it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by 0.252 rather. Divide by 0.52. Okay. This stuff is all going to cancel. Like I said, you could put the trailing 0 in or not, but you know, either way, it doesn't change the number. So those are going to cancel. We get D is equal to, D is equal, okay, to, what do we have here? 7.3 divided by 0.52. Okay, and we ended up with like 14 and some change, 14.038. And let's check what the instructions say. The instructions say round to the nearest tenth as needed. Well, this 3 doesn't really round up to a dime at all, does it? Right? The pennies here, they're too small. Just going to leave it as 14. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Let's have a look at number 15. Then we'll figure out what we're doing here. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you are getting your there's like a little guide for the hardest problems so that you don't have to struggle with them. So I would urge you to say, try the problem out yourself. If you're getting stuck and you want a little bit of a hint, then go ahead and run the video. But understand, I'm just solving the problem here. I'm not giving you hints so much as solving the problems. So I don't want to rob you of the experience. So try it yourself first and then go ahead and do that. Okay, it's not, puzzles aren't fun unless you get to try them yourself. You come by, somebody comes by and says, oh, or when you're playing solitaire, oh, this card goes on that one, that card goes on that one. I'm like, yeah, it's called solitaire because I wanted to be left alone. All right, thanks. All right. So we have a salesperson who has a goal of averaging $2,000 worth of sales per day. During the first 4 days of the week, she has achieved the following totals. They give us a list. Wow. Wednesday was not good. Okay. Thursday was excellent, but Wednesday was not a good day. What amount of sales does she need on the 5th day to achieve her goal for the week? Okay. Well, how do we get an average, right? Now I'm gonna put it this way first because I just want the formula before I want the values. So for 5-day average, right, we're gonna say, well, I need a first number and a second number, a third number, a fourth number, and a fifth number. If I want to get an average, we're going to divide it by 5. If I add all these up, divided by 5, okay, we should end up with 2,000. Okay. I was not good at math when I was a child. I told you that. But one of the things I did actually have a little insight to was being able to deal with averages. And when we played Monopoly, we played that game. I noticed that 6s, 7s, and 8s came up a lot more often than 2s and 12s. So we play games like that. We'd look at this, and I would look at averages because I just was good at solving those. I mean, the rest of math, forget it. And don't ask me to put in symbols. I couldn't do it. But we play games like this where you needed averages and such. My friends would always accuse me of cheating. It's like, how do you do that? Like, I don't know. I just got lucky. Okay. So here we go. By the way, the little subscript here, that's what this thing is called, is a subscript. That just means the first number, the second number, the third number, the fourth number, the fifth number. There's no arithmetic going on with these little 1, 2, 3, 4s, and 5s. Okay, they're just telling you the first number, the second number, etc. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down our numbers in our formula here. Okay, so we have 1957 plus 2228 plus 452 plus 3478. We don't know what our sales are on the 5th day. So that one I'm going to replace with a thing I don't know. We could say F for Friday. Okay, it doesn't have to be X. Okay, you can use whatever number you'd like. And then divided by 5, and is equal to 2,000. Okay, so remember, there is an implicit parentheses on the top of a fraction. So we're going to add these guys up here and just leave them as one. So we can do the parentheses stuff first, okay, to simplify it. But to solve it, we're going to do this part last. Okay, so what I would do here, you don't have to do this. You could do these steps in a slightly different order. It'll be fine. 2228 plus 452 plus 3478. Okay, and again, I can't add the F to it. It's just plus F. All right. So here we have 8,115 plus F divided by 5 is equal to 2,000. Okay, that's all I did with the parentheses. I just added up the stuff I could. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to do a reverse PEMDAS. We don't have arithmetic outside the parentheses, so we're just going to move on to multiplication division. So we're just going to have 5 times 5, $2,000 times 5, that's $10,000. This is equal to 8,115 plus F. We're going to subtract 8115, subtract 8115. We end up with F is equal to, what are we going to have here? 1985. No, 1995. 1995. No, it is an 8. Because this will add to that, we'll add 8 plus 2, and then that would be 10, add 1 to the 9, and it will be set. Okay, so we'll just double check. We'll say 10,000 minus our answer. Okay. And, 885. Oh, I can't make change today. Glad I checked. All right. So there's where we are. Okay. So that is pretty much our two-step solution. I'm going to go ahead and post this now. So if you have, well, I wish you luck with doing the homework. I'm sure you could tackle it after. Well, you probably tackle it before, but if you have any parts where it's a heavier lift, I'm sure this will. I hope this will help. All right, thank you, and go to your home.